All right, August 17th, 2016. It's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, 6 o'clock over here on the West Coast of North America. And welcome, everybody, to our Wednesday night Laguna Blends conference call. I guess we'll just call it a simple conference call tonight, normally a training call. We're doing things a little bit differently tonight. We've got a very, very special guest coming your way, and we're going to get started in just a moment. Just a drop of housekeeping tonight. A lot of people aren't familiar with this website as part of Laguna Blend, so I just wanted to let you know, hey, it is out there, and I believe there are ways to add to it, and that is simply LagunaRecipes.com. LagunaRecipes.com. It's got several recipes for Pro 369. That's what the website is geared towards, the Pro 369 smoothie shake mix that we've got in 4 delicious flavors. So again, if you're not familiar with it, LagunaRecipes.com. That is all the housekeeping we've got going on tonight. So let's get this party started. Why don't we? Let's head down to lovely Rancho Santa Fe, California, North San Diego County, and this gentleman is the president of Laguna Blends. He's got a 30-plus-year track record in the network marketing profession, absolutely stellar. He has led companies in the $50 to $75 to $100 million range, and we are very, very fortunate that he is indeed the president of Laguna Blends, Inc. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ray Grimm.
Well, thank you, David. Thank you, everyone, for being on the call this evening. It's always a pleasure having you host these calls, David. For those of you who don't know, this is our Laguna Blends call, a brand new company. We're very, very excited to share with the many guests we have on tonight's line. To go back a little bit in time, David found Laguna Blends and got introduced to CEO and founder Stuart Gray 6 months before we opened our doors, and I was very, very excited about this opportunity he saw coming. Very few people have the patience to wait for something like David did, but when he saw this opportunity, all I can say is I'm thankful that David did wait it out, shared this with a few other people, me included, and said, Ray, I'd like you to take a look at this company, and I'd like you to meet our CEO and founder, Stuart Gray. Needless to say, I was very impressed on that initial call and spent a number of hours, many hours on the phone with Stuart and getting to him to share the vision and where this company was going. For me, it's always extremely important to have a significant vision and a charismatic leader at the helm of a company when you're doing a startup, especially in this industry, and actually for any company in any industry. Extremely important for that is that's one of the key elements that I look at and the criteria in selecting companies to do business with. So David was a pioneer with the company. He became the initial distributor in the company, or affiliate as we call them. He became the top income earner within his first 2 months. He's been the top recruiter since the beginning. And I would just like to thank David and the team that he has built, the people he has brought in, and for his clarity, his focus, and his tunnel vision in building what I believe to be the next great company in our industry. Well, tonight it gives me great pleasure to introduce someone who I spent a lot of time with here in the last week in introducing him to Laguna Blends and helping him see the vision of where this company is going. He's a 30-year industry veteran. He's an international consultant to our industry. He's built large field organizations. He's worked in corporate as a corporate officer in a number of companies in the past. He's known as an expert in the hemp and CBD space. He's been a motivational speaker. He's been a coach, and he's been a mentor to many, including the number of people who are on the phone this evening. He's recently joined Laguna Blends and looking to become one of the top field leaders within our company. And we're very, very excited to have Charles Vest on board in Laguna Blends. Charles, welcome to the call this evening.
Wow, that was a great introduction. Can you do that again? I didn't hit record.
Well, we've got this recorded for you in case this is the only call you're ever on or ever will be on. Just joking here. But I just like to say that we're so proud to have quality people like yourself and seasoned leadership, people who are able to make a decision as it relates to joining a company in our industry. And as you know, Charles, and as we know, you've got lots of choices out there. And we're just very thankful and blessed to have you involved in our program and our company. So thank you for joining us. And I've got a few questions for you this evening as we start out our call tonight. You know, you've been in the industry for over 30 years. Tell us what attracted you to this industry, and what are some of the highlights of your career?
That's interesting. Well, first of all, let me just thank you and Troy Neihart and others that have welcomed me in with open arms, and you guys already had an amazing team. David, I've heard you on a few conference calls. You're spectacular. I listened to the call on Monday, and that really changed everything for me, and so you were an intricate part in that, David, and wanted you to know that. I haven't met you personally, but I'm looking forward to that. But let's see, your question was something about what attracted me to this industry and my career. And I remember when 30 years ago. I know I'm old, but 30 years ago, I was with a gentleman who was in a health and wellness company, and it's the weirdest thing. I was playing ping pong with him one day, and in his mansion. And he didn't have hardly any furniture, but he had a ping pong table that he, like a $300 ping pong table. And so at lunchtime, he said, "Hey, won't you do me a favor and go out and get my mail for me? I'm waiting for my check from my company." And I went out there, and 30 years ago, they printed every single name on the checks. I know you remember when you go to get your check, you'd have the check on top, but then a list of every single person in your organization. And that had to be about 4 inches thick. And on top of it was this envelope. And he says, "Why don't you open it?" And I opened it, and his check back then for that company was $115,000 for the month. And I could not believe that was possible, that anybody, I don't care who you were, could make that kind of money in network marketing and live in a mansion. And the weird thing about it is that he didn't even speak English well. He was from Czechoslovakia, and he had a really, really thick accent. And I said, "How in the world could you do this?" And so from that day on, I have to admit, the money was a driving factor, but also his lifestyle, his freedom to do what he wanted and have the things he wanted just attracted me back then. And that's how I got started in this industry. And I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've had a lot of successes, and I'm sure you'll probably ask me about some of those if you've Googled me. And so we all kind of get started that way. We hear about someone having a level of success, and we want to duplicate that for ourselves.
Well, Charles, I'm sure a number of people in line this evening have had not the exact same experience as something similar, or have worked with individuals who have been extremely dedicated to their vision and to their leadership within a certain company. And we've all seen checks of $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month or more. Those of us that have been around for a while in this industry. And I scratched my head when I first got involved, and I said, "How is this possible?" The first individual I met that had that kind of income didn't finish high school. And I said, with no prior training, no college education, no whatever it may be, I said, "How can people do this?" But it was a real eye-opener. And then, obviously to me, it was the money that attracted me early on, but it was also the freedom and lifestyle, having a similar experience you had early on. Talk to us about, I know you were told about Laguna Blends by a trusted friend and business associated, or one of your associates. And what is it that attracted you to Laguna Blends? You've seen a lot of companies in the past. What was it that made you make that decision and say, "I see the future here, and I see where this company's going"?
That's a great question. And, back 30 years ago, and then a couple other times since then, it's really about, being prepared for the right opportunity to come at the right time and be ready to spring into action, to really take action. And, when Troy, talked to me just really a couple weeks ago, and he shared with me about this company, I sat there and I only heard a little bit about Laguna Blends, but first of all, I got to tell you, that's a great name for a company. I don't know who thought of it, but kudos to you. Laguna Blends, it just sounds good coming out of your mouth, and I love that. But, when he was talking to me about it, I was sitting there kind of amazed because I was looking at all the work that I had done in the past in this industry, all the sacrifices, the thousands of miles of driving and all of the things that we go through in life, and I realized that Laguna Blends was the perfect fit for myself and my family and the team that has followed me throughout the years, because we're talking about health and wellness, which is great, but we're also talking about a cutting-edge product that people use every day, and they are learning more and more about hemp and CBD every day. It's always in the news. And so when Troy told me about this, it's kind of like, I know I'm giving you a long answer, but it's like my son is a coder. And, when he was in high school, he just, he was playing, video games, and he wanted to learn how to make them. And so he learned how to code, and he just went through hours and hours of learning code and programming. And then, out of the blue, just recently, he receives a call from a guy who's been searching for a person that had exactly the skills that he has been working on for years. And he wasn't doing it to get a job. He was doing it because he wanted to learn and just enjoyed it. And that's kind of how I feel. It just is the right time and the right place. And, for those of you who don't know about the product line, and you're going to learn about it as time goes on, you are very, very lucky to be at this point in time with a product line that's really going to impact the world. I've seen it already, and I can't wait to make it happen again.
Well, Charles, you mentioned some key points here, and one of the things you like is the Laguna Blends, the name, the branding that is associated with it, and that's really one of the first things I noticed, too. It's a cool name. It's something you're proud to represent, something you're proud to talk to people about, the packaging and some of the other things we're doing here. You can present it to your doctor, your lawyer, your banker, whoever it is, and they're going to go, wow, that's pretty impressive. Tell us a little bit more about that. The most impressive thing that in our initial meeting, when we spent a couple hours together, for me was your knowledge regarding hemp and CBD, and how did that come about?
Yeah, I was very fortunate to really, I know that this is a well-used term, but I was very fortunate to be at the right place at the right time. And when I received a call about this crazy plant called the hemp plant, the first thing that came to my mind, was is this legal? What are we talking about? And when I heard just 5 minutes of what we're talking about, I realized I was actually taught that this is something that's been around our planet for a lot of beneficial uses for, literally tens of thousands of years. And I saw all of the great things that, hemp has been part of. It's been really a mainstay product in the development of our country, with rope and medicines and all kinds of things that hemp has had. And so when I got an opportunity to be part of this industry, the hemp and CBD industry, not the marijuana industry, the hemp and CBD industry, the non-psychoactive aspect of this compound, I was kind of just, one of the only ones out there. There was just a few of us that knew anything about this compound. And so when the time came for us to share this information, I realized that I had to be educated, and educated quickly about this, much like many people now have been educated about, the benefits of hemp and CBD and all the cannabinoids and all the great things that are in our products. I went through a couple years of that, where when I showed up to conferences and seminars, I was the guy that got kicked out because nobody wanted anything. They didn't want to know about CBD. They didn't want anything to mess with the other side of the world, the psychoactive side of the world. And it's just a privilege. I'm just so grateful that people have caught on. Like those of you on this call, you realize now the benefits. I mean, it's on every shelf, and it's on every health food store has a hemp product there. I was at a place today, and it had a water there, a hemp component, and it's like it's in everything that we do. And so, I'm just one of the fortunate ones that much like my son, I just educated myself as much as possible. And then when it came time to share this information, I was ready. And the media came, and there's lots of things you can Google about what happened with myself and others, but it's just really a matter of when desire meets timing, you really can create some great things in your life. And I'm very grateful for all that education. And now I'm ready to share it with you all on the call, and actually talk about the benefits in these products. You can hear the passion in my voice. I've seen so many people receive the benefits of just adding this simple compound that's easy to get. It grows everywhere like a weed, sort of, pardon the pun. But it is something that is going to change the way that we look at health and wellness in the future.
Well, you're absolutely right, Charles. And one of the things that excited me early on is I've been a forerunner in space where I came out too early with a product line that failed miserably, and within 5 years it became more common knowledge as to the benefits, as to some of the things you've gone through and many others out there with hemp and CBD. It's a matter of hitting the market and the timing right. And fortunately, a number of years later, reintroduced the same concept and hit a home run from a business standpoint. So as you mentioned, it is about timing. It's also about people taking the time to get prepared. You've got to prepare for what you're getting involved in. You've got to see that we have something that's cutting edge. You want to be first to market. You want to grab market share as a company, and you want to be first to be sharing this information about Laguna Blends with your colleagues and trusted associates. So, be prepared. Many of you, and again, half the people on this line tonight didn't know what Laguna Blends was before they got on the line. You're going to hear a lot more about it here in the near future. After looking at the Laguna Blends product line, Charles, and specifically our Canaceutical line, which we discussed in our initial lunch meeting, what are your thoughts about marketing this program?
To be honest with you, my thoughts have changed since our first initial meeting because of the Monday call. And I hope that you put a recording of that call out so that everyone on this line can go and listen to Sherry Berry as the formulator of this product line, because she blew me away with her knowledge of the Canaceutical line and her all the time that she spent giving us a product that not only you put on your skin and you get the great benefits, in the morning, let's say, but a time-released aspect that keeps releasing this great compound, these great ingredients all throughout the day, and that is a game changer. I mean, when I shared that with my wife, she was ecstatic because, it's great to have the benefits of a skincare line, for instance, but to know that it's going to keep working and keep penetrating the skin, and with all the science that's behind it. I mean, clinical trials. I mean, how many skincare products in our space actually go through true clinical trials? And so, with the Canaceutical line and listening to that call, it just got me excited. I realized that, a friend of mine, Ryan Vanderpool says, please recognize when you actually have magic in a bottle. And I know he didn't mean specifically the ingredients in a bottle, but to me, that's how I feel about our Canaceutical line. It's magic in a bottle. And we just started using the products ourselves, and I heard that you actually will have results within a week or two, like within 10 days. And I got to tell you, the results are already, I already see results for myself and how my skin feels. So I'm real excited about the Canaceutical line. I don't want to educate people on it. I want people just to try it and get excited about what they're actually putting on their skin. The last thing I want to say about that, Ray, is what I've learned from launching other skincare type of products is that people today, and probably you listening on this call, when you pick up a bottle of a skincare product, you don't just grab it and slap it on your face. You turn it around and you read the ingredients, you do your Google research on it, and you make sure that it has good, clean, non-toxic, non-GMO, all the things that, people are now asking these questions about their product before they put it on their face. It's not just, put it on your face and see how it works. People are now educated, and so it's the perfect time to come out with a real clean, effective, clinically trialed product in our space, and everyone can be proud of it before. We haven't even launched a line yet, and I already have seen the results of this product, so I'm very excited about it. As you can tell, I can go on and on, but the proof is going to be in the sampling.
Well, you're absolutely right, Charles, and we've had sampling of the product out there for about 30 days at the most, and we're having rave reviews of people who are seeing their skin texture, their glowing, their fine lines and wrinkle reduction, within a couple of weeks. And we're not talking about temporary results here. Everybody's looking for instant gratification, but I think if you talk to most people out there, they'd love not just instant gratification, but, if they've got results within 7 to 14 days, which the clinical proves, knowing that they're going to achieve long-term results and their skin is just going to get better and better and better. And, this is a vanity product, and I think whether it's male or female, everybody wants to be looking their best. So we have something that if people start using that within the first day or two, we will have people complimenting them on their skin glowing, etc. So we're very anxious to do some video shoots and get those testimonials out there and introduce this product here between the 1st and 15th of September. We have the product in inventory. We're just getting the marketing materials ready, changing the websites, doing all the things we need to do to be ready as a company for you to market this program. There's a number of field leaders out there looking for a good home in this industry. And Charles, I know you're a center of influence. You've been a mentor and a coach to many. What would your advice to them be regarding Laguna Blends?
Wow. If you're a leader, then I understand a few things about your life possibly. I understand that you've had some success in your life. There's that old Chinese saying that you're only a leader if you go out for a walk and you turn around and there's people following you. If you turn around and no one's there, then you're not so effective. And many of you on this call are proven industry leaders. And if you're like me, you've been asking yourself, what is the environment that I need in order for me to have that, that lightning in the bottle time, that moment in time, that success, and what are the ingredients that it took at that time? And it makes me want to ask you this question. If you're a leader in this industry, then and you've had a level of success, I don't care if it's that 1 week where everyone joined because of your excitement, or that year of huge financial freedom that you had. There's a few components that, and I wrote this down. I'm glad you asked the question, because I wrote down these components that I know it takes in the environment to be a leader. And the first one is that there has to be a product that people use every day, and the difference is that when they use those products, they know, they can see, they can taste, they can feel that it's better than something they can buy on the shelf. That has to happen, or else people will go to CVS and get their skincare or whatever, Target. So it has to be a product that people not only use, but it has to be better, or else the company's not going to be successful. So that's one thing that needs to take place. The second thing is it has to be something that appeals to all demographics, old, young, all the different cultures, the different countries. It needs to be something that appeals to them. And when you have health and wellness products, it is the largest industry in the network marketing and direct selling space. It is the largest industry, health and wellness, and so it needs to appeal to young and old. It needs to be something that your mom or your dad or your cousin would use and that you're proud of, And I mean, these are the ingredients that it had to happen for you to have this level of success. The third thing that I wrote down is that there needs to be marketing tools that are amazing, that make sharing the products easy. We don't need to be scientists and doctors. We want marketing tools that do the work for us. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing out of the five is that, you want to be part of a special movement, a culture of folks that were committed to helping you succeed, not just themselves. There's a lot of times when you join an organization and, there's three people at the top and they're, driving these great cars and they're taking all these trips and they're posting on Facebook, hey, look at our life. And they're the only ones that are successful. And that's not gonna make it work for you. You know that there needs to be a huge amount of people that are successful. The more people that are successful in your organization, the more success you'll have. And so that culture, that movement needs to take place. And then the last thing I wrote, and there's plenty of other ingredients, but the last thing I wrote is it has to be fun. When you had that great success, it was fun. You remember the trips. You remember the meetings. You remember the camaraderie of the like-minded people. And so I ask you, if those are the things that you remember that made it so that you had that level of success, and there's plenty of people on this call that have had that level of success before, if those are the ingredients that you're looking for, that's what I know for a fact are the ingredients that you're going to find here at Laguna Blend. That's why I chose it over all the other companies that I've been talking to. I've flown all over the country, and it's just, they were like, that's exciting, that's cutting edge, but it just didn't have that last spark of all the ingredients, and I found it here. So I'm really excited, and I hope others get that same excitement that I have.
Oh, that's excellent advice, Charles, and you made it so concise, so easy to understand. And, that's not a difficult procedure to follow. From a timing, from a fun factor, you name it, and a commitment level, I see many, many people being very successful in our business here. So what would your advice be as you start building the company here for new people in the line this evening be? You've built a number of startup companies in the past. What approach should they be taking as it relates to getting started in Laguna Blends?
Well, one of the things that I remember when I got started, when I actually was paying attention, was that statement, make a year commitment. Don't leave before the miracle happens. And so for those, I know 3 people have just hung up the phone already. It's like, are you asking me to make a year commitment? Are you kidding me? No, I'm saying that if you're going to have a level of success, it's not going to happen overnight. It just, good luck with that. But if you're in the right environment, you're at the right time, and this company hasn't even launched officially. I think it's going to launch in first of the year or something like that. So talk about timing, you're there. But if you came in this month and you want to have, the $10,000 income or whatever it is that you're looking for, and it doesn't happen, or the back office, was shut down between, 1 in the morning and 3 in the morning for maintenance or upgrades, if that's something that would bother you, then it's not the right time for you. You need to wait until the company is in huge momentum and success. But you're not going to have that magic moment. You're not going to have that level of success. It's all about timing. It's all about making a commitment. And it takes people to go through the pioneer phase. It takes us Indians to go through the pioneer phase. It's, a couple ups and downs, but the reward is those that have had success. They know it. When is let's take Amway or Herbalife or Mary Kay. When do you think is the best time in history? And I'm asking you, when is the best time in history to join a company like Mary Kay or Amway or Nu Skin? What would you say, Ray?
Well, Charles, the best time would have been back in the beginning because I'm a pioneer. For many people, depending on personality types, they'd rather wait a couple years till the company's established and jump on board. But for those of us who've been in the industry early on, we've known that it's really worth the wait if you can get in early on and stick it out. So I'm very excited. I'm a pioneer myself, as you know, and I just see that, you know, you can get involved anytime to be successful. You've just got to have what it takes to work your way through the early days in any type of business venture. I don't care whether it's the restaurant business, the yoga business, whatever it is. So anyway, that's my answer. I don't know.
Can I add a couple more things to that?
Sure.
Just a couple seconds here. I know we're 3 minutes over. You know, when I was asked to really look at Laguna Blends, and I talked to you and I talked to Troy and marketing team and all that, you know, the questions that I asked were mature questions because I've been in this industry a long time. I've sworn it off. I've said never again am I going to put all this work in and, you know, and have, you know, undesirable results or, you know, have it just taken out of my hands after all. I mean, I've been there, and I asked tough questions to you and to Troy and others. I wanted to make sure that you guys could answer those questions, not, you know, avoid them like, you know, the politicians are today. I wanted to know if you guys really had the, you know, the backing, the you know, the financial backing, the leadership, the quality of products, customer service, all those things that I asked about. You guys actually smiled and had this kind of this Cheshire cat look in your face, like not only do we have it, but we're even going to do more. And you know, one of the things that's real important to me that I know you're doing is taking selling out of the hands of the affiliates, you know, out of the hands of the distributors as much as possible. You know, we don't want to build an army of doctors and scientists. So when you hear the word CBD or you hear the word adaptogenic superfoods and all these other things that are, you know, cannabinoids, things that are going to get thrown out there, we don't want you to be a scientist or a doctor. We want to teach you how to point to a website, how to point to the information so that the tools, the amazing marketing tools, like I said early on, those are going to do the work primarily for you so that you can do what you do best. Just point and share and be excited about how it's working for you. And that is the key to success in this industry. You know, it's easy to talk people into wanting to buy something, but it's also easy to talk them right out of it because of just too many words. So, like I'm giving you too many words now. So, you know, I just want to thank you. I know that you know, our time is up, but I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to kind of share a little bit about myself. And I want everyone to know that I'm available. I love talking about this industry, but you know what I love more is talking about hemp and CBD and the benefits for so many things. You know, when I get a chance to share that, I think it's going to blow you away on how the greatest compound on the planet is right in our products today.
Well, I'll tell you, Charles, I want to thank you for joining us, but you've just heard, those of you who are on the line this evening, from what I call someone who has experience. They've been through the battles. They understand what's going to take place. They're not afraid of what's going to take place, and they're excited about the future. They see something on the cutting edge and understanding being first to market in what it means to be in that next great company. And I'll tell you, that's where we are in Laguna Blends here. We're talking about products with a purpose. We're talking about a company with charismatic and visionary leadership, a very strong management team, a powerful story, a company that wants to grow their people, not just educate on products. We understand the value of praise and recognition. We have core ideologies and core values that are going to stand the test of time in Laguna Blends. We've got a very, very powerful drive for progress, and we've set some huge goals as a company. We're committed to a cause. We're committed to sharing the hemp and CBD story worldwide. I believe personally, and the reason I'm part of Laguna Blends, is this is going to be a huge movement. We are going to be the world leader in distribution of hemp and CBD-based products. We're starting in the U.S. and Canada, but we're going to grow from here. As Charles mentioned, the marketing tools, we want to make this a turnkey marketing system So all you have to do is introduce people to Laguna Blends and push play. You push the buttons. Here's this video. Here's this. Here's that. All this is in progress right now. So we are excited about the future, and we're especially excited and blessed to have people like Charles Vest on board with us or coming on board. We know these are difficult times in the early stages of companies, but we see a big future ahead, and a number of leaders out there are going to see the same thing.
Hey,
so
Ray, I just signed up about an hour ago, so I'm on board. It's over.
Well, I appreciate that, Charles, and we have a number of other people who will be enrolling after tonight's call, and we just thank you for your leadership. We thank you for your experience. We thank you for your knowledge and your vision, Charles, for joining Laguna Blends. And with that,
absolutely my pleasure.
We're going to close out tonight's call, and please join us on next Monday night's call. We're going to be doing a Laguna Blends overview. We're going to talk about our products, our business opportunity, you name it. We'll have that call done in 25 minutes next Monday night. Same call number, same time. Thank you for being on the call tonight. Good evening.